Class 8. Civics Lesson Plan, Geography. Lesson 4 Agriculture. Q1. Which crop is known as golden fiber? Ans. Jute. Q2. What do you mean by viticulture? Ans. Viticulture is the cultivation of grapes. Q3. In what season is wheat grown in India? Ans. In winter. Q4. What are fiber crops? Ans. Jute and cotton. Q5. Which two countries lead in the production of jute? Ans. India and Bangladesh. Q6. Name the staple diet of the tropical and subtropical regions. Ans. Rice. Q7. What is sericulture? Ans. Sericulture is the commercial rearing of silkworms. Q8. What is the main characteristic of plantation agriculture? Ans. In plantation agriculture only a single crop is grown. Q9. What is arable land? Ans. The land on which the crops are grown is known as arable land. Q10. Which country is the leading producer of coffee? Ans. Brazil. Q11. What is pisciculture? Ans. Pisciculture involves breeding of fish in specially constructed tanks and ponds. Q12. What is the aim of agricultural development? Ans. To increase food security. Q13. Which country produces the best quality tea in the world? Ans. Kenya, India, China, Sri Lanka. Q14. Name the factors influencing agriculture. Ans. Factors influencing agriculture include favorable topography of soil and climate. Q15. What are three types of economic activities? Ans. They are primary, secondary and tertiary activities. Q16. Who are the leading producers of cotton? Ans. China, USA, India, Pakistan, Brazil and Egypt. Q17. Which country leads the world in production of rice? Ans. China leads in the production of rice followed by India, Japan, Sri Lanka and Egypt. Q18. What is horticulture? Ans. Horticulture is the growing vegetables, flowers and fruits for commercial use. Q19. What is mixed farming? Ans. In mixed farming the land is used for growing food and fodder crops and rearing livestock. Q20. What type of climate is required for growing rice? Ans. Rice needs high temperature, high humidity and rainfall. It grows best in alluvial clayey soil, which can retain water. Q21. Why is mixed farming called so? Ans. Mixed farming is called so because the land is used for growing food and fodder crops and rearing livestock. Q22. What is agriculture? Ans. Agriculture is a primary activity. It includes growing crops, fruits, vegetables, flowers and rearing of livestock. Q23. Where is mixed farming practiced? Ans. It is practiced in Europe, Eastern USA, Argentina, Southeast Australia, New Zealand and South Africa. Q24. What do you understand by agricultural development? Ans. Agricultural development refers to efforts made to increase farm production in order to meet the growing demand of increasing population. Q25. What is organic farming? Ans. In organic farming, organic manure and natural pesticides are used instead of chemicals. No genetic modification is done to increase the yield of the crop. Q26. What are three types of economic activities? ANS.1 Primary activities include all those connected with extraction and production of natural resources. Agriculture, fishing and gathering are good examples. Two secondary activities are concerned with the processing of natural resources. Example, manufacturing of steel, baking of bread and weaving of cloth, etc. 3. Tertiary activities provide support to the primary and secondary sectors through services. Transport, trade, banking, insurance and advertising are examples of tertiary activities. Q27. What are the major crops grown in India? ANS. The major crops in India: food crops, wheat, rice, maize and millets. Fiber crops, jute and cotton. Important beverage crops, tea and coffee. Q28. Mention the important inputs and outputs of agriculture along with the operations involved. ANS. The important inputs are seeds, fertilizers, machinery and labor. Some of the operations involved are plowing, sowing, irrigation, weeding and harvesting. The outputs from the system include crops, wool, dairy and poultry products. Q29. Why different types of crops are grown in different regions? O. Different crops are grown in different regions. Give reasons. ANS. Different crops are grown in different regions because growing crops depends upon the geographical conditions, demand of produce, labor and level of technology. Favorable topography of soil and climate are vital for agricultural activity. Q30. How can agricultural development be achieved? ANS. Agricultural development can be achieved in many ways, such as increasing the cropped area, the number of crops grown, improving irrigation facilities, use of fertilizers and high-yielding variety of seeds. Mechanization of agriculture is also another aspect of agricultural development. Q31. What is plantation agriculture? ANS. Plantations are a type of commercial farming where single crop of tea, coffee, sugarcane, cashew, rubber, banana or cotton are grown. Large amount of labor and capital are required. The produce may be processed on the farm itself or in nearby factories. The development of a transport network is thus essential for such farming. Q32. What are the types of commercial farming? ANS. Commercial farming includes commercial grain farming, mixed farming and plantation agriculture. In commercial grain farming, crops are grown for commercial purpose. Wheat and maize are common commercially grown grains. Major areas where commercial grain farming is practiced are temperate grasslands of North America, Europe and Asia. In mixed farming, the land is used for growing food and fodder crops and rearing livestock. It is practiced in Europe, Eastern USA, Argentina, Southeast Australia, New Zealand and South Africa. Plantations are a type of commercial farming where single crop of tea, coffee, sugarcane, cashew, rubber, banana or cotton are grown. Large amount of labor and capital are required. Major plantations are found in the tropical regions of the world. Q33. What are the types of subsistence farming? ANS. Subsistence farming can be further classified as intensive subsistence and primitive subsistence farming. Intensive subsistence agriculture. In intensive subsistence agriculture, the farmer cultivates a small plot of land using simple tools and more labor. Rice is the main crop. Other crops include wheat, maize, pulses and oilseeds. Intensive subsistence agriculture is prevalent in the thickly populated areas of the monsoon regions of South, Southeast and East Asia. Primitive subsistence agriculture, it includes shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. Shifting cultivation is practiced in the thickly forested areas of Amazon basin, tropical Africa, parts of Southeast Asia and Northeast India. A plot of land is cleared by felling the trees and burning them. The ashes are then mixed with the soil and crops like maize, yam, potatoes and cassava are grown. After the soil loses its fertility, the land is abandoned and the cultivator moves to a new plot. Nomadic herding is practiced in the semi-arid and arid regions of Sahara, Central Asia and some parts of India, like Rajasthan and Jammu and Kashmir. In this type of farming, herdsmen move from place to place with their animals for fodder and water, along defined routes.